Hello and welcome everyone to today's coding challenge. And today we are going to discuss a question on lead code, question number 589, an array tree pre-order traversal. In this question, we have given the root of an array tree and we have to return the pre-order traversal of its nodes values. And the n array tree input serialization is represented in their level order traversal. Each group of children is separated by the null values. That means for every level to separate to its next level, there is a null value between them. Whenever there is a null encountered, that means the current level is basically completed. So look at this example number 1. The tree is 1 3 2 4 5 6 and the pre-order traversal is 1 3 5 6 2 4. So first let us look at the definition of this n array. What is this n array? We have a class node. That means there is a node. In every node there is a value, integer value, and then there is a vector for its children's, vector of node references. That means there is a reference to its same type and the vector named is children. So let us look here. There is a node. That means let us suppose this one or this box is basically a node in which there is a value, integer value, and then there is a reference for its children vector. That means let us suppose this vector has a address of 200 like this. So this one contains the address of this and this is pointing to this vector. Now after this one has reference for its children's, this 3 has reference for its children's 5 and 6, and this is basically the structure of this n array input example number 1. And the pre-order traversal, what is 1 3 5 6 2 and 4. What is pre-order? By the definition of binary trees, we have to first visit the root and then we have to visit the left and then its right subtree. In this n array there is no, basically there is no left and right subtrees. So what we have to do, first we have to visit our root. So whenever we are on a node, just push that node into our answer. Like if we are on this one and this is not null, just push that inside our answer. Before doing anything else, just run a loop for every children of this one. Running a loop for every children will points to this 3 first, and whenever we are on a node, just push that inside our answer. Before exploring the other children's of it, just run a loop for its children's it. So there is a loop running for its children's first, so the counter goes to this 5. Before doing anything else, if it is not null, push that inside our answer and like push this 5 inside our answer and then explore its children's first. And when we try to explore its children's first, there will be no children's for 5, so return and explore the other siblings of this 5. So the other siblings will be, the counter goes to this 6. And whenever we are on a node, push that inside our answer and explore its children's rather than exploring its siblings. And when we try to explore its children's, there is no reference, so return, and this counter tries to move to its sibling, and we can see that there are no siblings left, so just return. And whenever the children's of every node is explored, it will try to explore its siblings then. So this counter goes to this 2, and when we encounter any node that is not null, push that inside our answer and try to explore its children's, and as we can see that there are no children's for this 2, so it will try to explore its siblings then. Try this will push 4 into our answer and try to explore its siblings, and as we can see that there are no siblings left, just return to the parent call. And then this, after exploring all of its children, this one tried to explore its siblings, and as we can see that there are no siblings left, so the DFS call will be over, and finally we have to return our answer to the caller, and this will be our answer of this question. Basically, an array is a graph in which we have to simply call our DFS function, exploring every node, and for every node, after pushing that inside our answer, we have to explore its children first rather than its siblings. So let us code in C++ and check if the intuition is correct or not. Let us first initiate our answer vector that contains the integer values for every node, and then we run a DFS function for root and passed our answer function to it, and after performing the DFS we have to return our answer to the caller. Then we have to write our DFS function, and this DFS function in pass our integer vector by reference, so that in every call our previous answers will be reserved. Now what we have to do for every call, for the first call itself, let us first erase this. Here, for the very first call, the pointer will be pointing to this one, and we have to check if the root is null, that means if not root, there will be no root, then we have to simply return from that. And as we can see that there is a value present, and if there is a value present, push the node value or the root value inside our answer variable, answer vector, answer vector, and then pushing this one inside our answer. What we have to do, we have to first explore its children's first. So let us run a for loop for auto child to root children's, to all root children's. As we can see that the name for vector will be children. For every children we have to write a call a DFS and pass our answer, and after performing all the DFS we have to return. So what will this function do? After completing this one, the counter goes to here, and this will check if it is null or not. No, it is not null, so push that inside our answer. We push 3 inside our answer, and then try to run a loop for every children, and this root dot children is now points to this, so the counter goes to this 5. DFS call for this 5 will be called, and counter goes to this 5 and check if it is null or not. No, it is not null, and it is not, if it is not null, push that inside our answer. So this 5 will be pushed. After this 5 will be pushed, there is a loop that runs for every children of this 5, and as we can see that the counter goes to this position, and this time this will check if it is null or not, but this time it is null, and if it is null we have to simply return. So this will return to this position, and after returning to this position, this DFS call for this 5 is over. So after this call gets over, the other childrens of this 3 will gets explode. So the counter goes to this 6, and then this will again check if it is null or not. No, it is not null. This time there is a node, and then we have to push that inside our answer. After pushing that inside our answer, we have to run a loop for every children of that node, and as we can see that there are no childrens of this 6, so the counter goes again to its siblings, and as we can see that there are no siblings present, so this will return to the previous calls, and again this siblings gets explode in the same way. And after performing this, after exploring all these siblings, this counter goes to its parent. This will now explore all its siblings, and after exploring all its siblings, the final answer vector is returned to the caller, as we can see that in this code. This is a very basic code. Now let us run this and check if it is running fine or not. It is running fine, so let us now submit this and check if it does passes all the test cases or not. It is passing all the test cases, and it beats around 80% of all the submissions, and around 88% in memory as well. So this is the code for this problem, and there are other 2-3 problems that are basically similar to this n array trees traversal. So we will try them also in our upcoming videos. So thank you so much guys, and if you do understand the concept, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and thank you.